Viewers, once again, the biggest stories of the day here on India Upfront. Viewers, history teaches us that there have been many instances in the past when attempts have been made to erase any record of a culture from the face of the earth. Viewers, let me illustrate the point with some examples to you. When Christian conquistadors landed in what are the modern-day Americas, they dismantled the indigenous cultures. Now, you'll only see ghost Inca and Mayan ruined cities. In North America, in fact, the Native Americans live in reservations, fossilized in time for eternity. In the Middle East, the Israelites were expelled. I'm talking about biblical times or pre-biblical times from their settlements. The Exodus was a living testament to xenophobia. Parsis, viewers, Parsis had to flee Persia and found a safe sanctuary in India. Their culture had been totally eviscerated in what today is Iran. In Byzantium, the Greek Orthodox Church, Hagia Sophia, was Islamicized after the takeover of Constantinople by the Ottoman Turks. Not just Muslims, but in 1931, the Bolsheviks in Moscow flattened the iconic Christ the Savior Cathedral in a bid to pave over Christianity and, by extension, religion. The only religion, as you know, viewers, in Soviet Russia was communism. In a manner of speaking, of course. In the subcontinent, here, the most sacred Hindu sites were dismantled and built over with mosques. The assault on Indic civilization continued under Muslim rule for 1,000 years. When Islam was not harrying Hinduism, then Christianity waged an intellectual attack on its belief systems. In an attempt to civilize, as they said, Hindus, missionaries pushed them to convert to Christianity, to become civilized. After partition, Hinduphobia continues in Pakistan and Bangladesh. Viewers, one would have thought that at least in a free, secular, and democratic India, Hindus would not feel threatened, that they would at least and at last find a sanctuary from both intellectual and religious persecution. Sadly, viewers, this view couldn't be more wrong. An ecosystem continues to wage an acrimonious war on the Indic tradition. In the latest sordid chapter, the Congress Party's Karnataka chief has unleashed a tirade against Hindus, against their beliefs, trying to even divorce them from their faith. Listen to this most latest chapter that is being scripted in Hinduphobia, viewers.
हिंदू शब्द कहाँ से आ गया? ये हमारा है? पर्शियन का है। पर्शियन का है? ईरान, इराक, कजाकिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान। फिर भारत का उधर का क्या संबंध है? फिर आपका कैसा होगा हिंदू? फिर आपको इतने उसको ऊपर बिठा के क्यों आप जा रहे हैं? आपका नहीं है वो शब्द। फिर उसका मीनिंग आपको समझ में आ गया तो आपके अब शर्म आ जाएंगे। हिंदू का जो मीनिंग है वो बहुत गंदी है।
The meaning of the word Hindu is dirty, it's filthy, according to this man. This man, viewers, is not some ordinary leader. He's a member of the Legislative Assembly. He is the chief of the Karnataka Congress. Viewers, he says, if this word is borrowed, if the term Hindu is borrowed from other cultures, then how is it related to India in the first place? How is this faith related to India in the first place? Now remember, viewers, just a few days back, someone popped up and said that one of the founders of the Cholan kingdom was not a Hindu. Viewers, as I told you, there is a systematic attempt being made to erode the entire culture, to deny its existence. I've already told you how by the sword this was done. Then an intellectual war was waged, and it continues. But viewers, the facts don't add up. And here I only deal in facts. On India Upfront, we deal in facts, viewers. These are hard facts. These are undeniable. Hindu culture cannot be divorced from this land. Its imprint cannot be denied or stubbed out just because you decide to bring down one of the most iconic temples and build a mosque or any other structure over it. You cannot stub out the imprint. Hindu culture and tradition will not be blasted off like the Bamiyan Buddhas were recently, viewers, and much to the world's horror. As much as propagandists, Hinduphobic leaders, Hindu baiters might try, the evidence is overwhelming. And let me take you through some of this evidence. I'm not making this up, viewers. It's been written for posterity. It's been recorded for posterity. Much before Jharki Holis, Iranian, Iraqi, Persian, Kazaki or Uzbeki people showed up here, viewers. In the 7th century, let me read out to you what Hyun Xiang in the Buddhist records of the Western world, Book 2, said. The bright connected light of holy men and sages, guiding the world as the shining of the moon, have made this country imminent, and so it is called Into. So it is called Into. This is Hyun Sang, and everyone, whoever's been to primary school in this country, must know about this. This cannot be denied. There are Vedic references. And let me, viewers, quote those to you. This is Iravatham Mahadev, an Indologist from Tamil Nadu, who says, reminded of the two most powerful images in the Soma chapter of the Rig Veda, Pavamana and Indu, unquote. Viewers, can anyone deny this? There is another reference, and this time in the Rig Vedas. The river Indus is named good Soma, Sumona. So we have the droplets of Soma, Indu, and the flowing Soma, Sindhu. Viewers, this was also brought out recently by Arvindan Nilakandan in the Swarajya. No wonder today, viewers, there is a massive controversy raging, and listen to some of the reactions that are coming in, especially by those who see themselves as spokespeople for Hindus, parties like the BJP and other Hindu groups, saying that the ecosystem's mindset is being revealed in these words that this particular Congress leader has chosen to use. Listen to this.
This is what Congress is always doing, to attract the votes of one community. One thing I feel is that he has not studied the history of India, Bharata. If he had studied the history of Bharata and if he has spoken like that, I feel it is only to attract votes, to appease Muslims.
यह कांग्रेस और राहुल गांधी द्वारा हिंदुओं के प्रति जो नफरत का भाव है उसी को एक बार फिर से प्रकट किया है। यह कांग्रेस का नित्य कर्म हो गया है और अब आवश्यकता है कि हिंदू जागृत हों और ऐसे हिंदू द्रोही कांग्रेस को जबरदस्त सबक सिखाएं।
कांग्रेस की मानसिकता सदैव ही सनातन संस्कृति के विरोध में ही रहा है। कांग्रेस शुरू से ही हिंदू और हिंदुत्व को गाली देना, हमको बोको हरम, ISI, तालिबान से जोड़ देना, जिस प्रकार से सनातन संस्कृति को अपमानित करने का काम करते हैं, तो ऐसे नेताओं के खिलाफ कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता को जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
Viewers, all of them are reacting to the latest chapter in Hindu bashing. This time scripted, as I told you, by a very senior leader of the Congress party from Karnataka, the state chief, no less. He says the word Hindu has a vulgar meaning. Gandhi, he used the word. Gandhi meaning. Let me ask some questions now, viewers, of our panelists. Remember, I told you, viewers, this is part of a larger, much larger group who have been escalating their attacks. And I have a whole list of what has been said in the past. But let's open this up. I want to begin with Kamruzaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress. Mr. Chaudhary, what explains the prejudice and disdain for the Hindu community, for the Hindu faith, for Hindus as such? Would the Congress, and let me ask you, you put your hand on your heart tonight, would the Congress ever use the word dirty or Gandhi to refer to another religion?
Yeah, Rahul, first of all, a very good evening to you. Basically, you know, the Congress party does not endorse any of the views expressed by Mr. Satish out here. Okay. He has uttered this statement in a private religious function that is there. It is recorded and it is utterly condemnable. He should not have spoken in that language. It was best avoided. And the Congress party respects all religion as it is in India. Their debate of a Indian civilization versus the Hindu civilization is always there in India. Now we are not in a Hindu civilization, we are in an Indian civilization. You must be very careful in quoting the Hindu civilization references from the past that you might bring in always. We as an India nation, that I call now the present day Indian civilization, existed after 1947, amalgamating all the religious castes that belong to India, and that the beauty of the India that is manifested in today's India that we are there. Of course, there were differences right from the independence, but of course we are able to solve our problems amicably and we will march on. Congress party categorically does not endorse any such views. Let me repeat that. It does not endorse the views of Mr. Satish on his comments today against a particular religion in India.
Viewers, Shivraj Patil just a few days ago, October 2020. You judge for yourselves, viewers, what the Congress believes and doesn't believe. Krishna taught jihad to Arjun in Gita. This is Shivraj Patil, who was former Home Minister when the 26/11 attacks took place. Of course, his great distinction, how he distinguished himself, was that in one day, viewers, he changed his clothes so often because he was so busy wanting to make an impression in press conferences when terrorists were striking at the heart of Mumbai. That's how he distinguished himself. A. Raja of the DMK says you are untouchable till you remain a Hindu. So you are really the pits. That's what A. Raja meant. R. Rajiv Gandhi, a DMK leader, says Brahmin should have been killed as directed by Periyar. Rajendra Gautam of the Aam Aadmi Party says on November 2022, Hindus will soon become a minority in India. Wipe them out, finish them off. That's the imputation. I don't know, viewers, because I haven't got any clarification from Mr. Gautam on his statement. That's what many people are believing he is implying. I hope not. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. P. Chidambaram, saffron teller implicated in many blasts. Why is every Hindu terrorist a Sanghi? Digvijay Singh, BJP and RSS conduct terror training camps. BJP bringing Talibanism to Hinduism. Hindi, Hindu, Hindutva ideology dividing India. Shashi Tharoor. Hindu ideology dividing India. Viewers, let's go back to Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, I want to ask you a question. All these leaders, your party never uses anything, even moderately offensive, against any other faith. How is it that you only question the belief systems of Hindus, the views of Hindus? Why do you take advantage of their tolerance? What is it about Hindus that you don't like?
No, Rahul.
And I'm not saying you personally, I'm talking about the Congress party. Why has disciplinary action not been taken? You tell me.
I understand.
Do you, first of all, do you underscore this?
I
I'm
understand.
asking you.
Rahul,
Would you ever say the word Hindu is a dirty word? I'm asking you specifically. You, Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
No, I will never utter such a word for a particular religion.
So
for
tell me
matter,
then, you
any
believe
religion
it is
in the world.
So you believe
it's a
that
belief
it is
system that I believe in.
So sir, do you believe it's an insult? Yes or no? Just answer me yes and no's. Do you believe it's an insult?
Yes, of course. Even
Then
it's
tell
an
me,
insult
why
in the
is
sense
the Congress,
way he has quoted it.
Now tell me something. Mr. Jharki
It doesn't suit a Congress leader. It doesn't suit a Congress leader to hurt sentiments of any other community.
Thank you. But maybe,
but
Mr. Jharki,
Rahul,
let me finish.
Give me 10 more seconds.
Let me finish. Let me finish. You have given me a huge spiel on what the Congress believes, but you haven't told me then, if it so believes that it is a tolerant party, why hasn't it taken action against Mr. Jharki? Why hasn't he been sacked? Rahul Gandhi is on this Bharat Jodo Yatra, while Mr. Jharki is whipping up hate against one particular faith, dividing India even further. Why hasn't Rahul Gandhi turned around and told Mr. Jharki, I'm stripping you off the post that you occupy today in the Congress party? It's a very simple question. Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, can you explain this to me?
Okay, political parties, they work on a particular rules, time fed. If he has said something, there is a disciplinary committee which will take its due course of action. Don't worry about that, Rahul. My limited point tonight in your show is, Rahul, you have run a series of comments by Congress leaders. I don't have any objection to majority of the comments, because I still feel that the ideology of Hinduism is different from the ideology of Hindutva. Why I say that Hinduism is a all accepting, all embracing religion, but Hindutva is a negative, a divisive force that is eating into the secular fabric of the country. We must be careful and be able to distinguish between the Hinduism and Hindutva of the country. We are fighting a war against Hindutva, but we are not against any particular religion of the country, and we respect each and every religion as it is. There are differences of opinion with regards to how do we approach and embrace each religious beliefs. That is one part of the story.
Now,
but
viewers,
as a congressman, my party man, my leaders, my workers will always stand against Hindutva.
I will judge you, sir. First of all, this great distinction that you are trying to make between Hindus and Hindutva, even the Supreme Court doesn't make that distinction. Now, if the Supreme Court's word is not good enough for you, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, God help the Congress party, but I'll leave it at that for the moment. I don't want to continue this with you. We've heard you. You've been given more than an opportunity to explain your point of view. I want to first bring in the BJP to explain why the BJP today still feels aggrieved, even after listening to Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, the Member of Parliament from the Bharatiya Janata Party, GVL Narsimha Rao, is going to respond. Yes, Mr. Rao, tell me.
Yeah, good evening, Rahul, to you, all the panelists. I don't think Mr. Kamruzaman views represent the views of the Congress party. I think if he feels otherwise, he can contradict me. I have not heard any statement from the Congress leadership, because Mr. Satish, who made these horrible comments, is a very senior leader of the Congress party in Karnataka. He's a working president of the party. He is a legislator. So unless a contradiction, unless a rebuke comes from the national leadership of the Congress party, any other criticism is can only be taken as individual criticism and not party level criticism. For Congress party, making anti-Hindu statements has become a way of life. You have mentioned a number of statements. There are several other statements that you have heard in the past several years, how they have even questioned the existence of Lord Ram in the Supreme Court by filing an affidavit, which certainly hurts sentiments of crores of Hindus in the country. How they have presented concepts like saffron terror, Hindu terror, only to soil the image, only to lower the image and dignity of Hindus all over the world? I think this is a typical Congress style. It's not an off-the-cuff statement. It's not it's a pure calculated statement.
Let me tell you.
To appease a particular community, particularly the minority Muslim community in Karnataka. It's a calculated statement.
Okay.
Maybe Mr. Satish made this comment a few weeks early, and that's why you have this comment coming from Surjewala.
I can tell
Otherwise,
you, viewers,
the Congress would have happily lapped it up.
I can tell you that there are, first of all, on facts, infirmities. And we have with us Vedic scholar, the very eloquent Dushyant Sridhar with us this evening. We are very lucky. He is speaking from Bengaluru today. In Belagavi, you heard what Mr. Jharkholi has said. Now, how do you view it? Just from a historic, number one, number two, cultural, number three, factual perspective, sir.
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. I heard them patiently. Very quickly, Rahul, even before understanding what to agree and what to disagree in the comment made by the politician, three words that I find missing in the dictionary of the person who has made this comment, which is E for education, L for logic, and S for sense, because it doesn't make any sense, it is illogical and absolutely ill-informed. Very quickly, first, the word Hindu is what he finds it very obnoxious. He says that it smells so bad, the meaning is so bad. Of course, the people from the European continent, the Greeks, people who came from the Middle East, referred to this piece of land of geography based on the river that flowed. So Sindhu, which became Hindu, and then we had words like Indoi and Indica coming from the European part and the Middle East. Hyunzang, like how you made the opening comment, it was a very, very useful comment, Rahul, because Hyunzang, who traveled in the 7th century from China to the Indian subcontinent, refers to this land as the land of the moon, which is Hindu. Interestingly, the person who has made this comment today belongs to a party where Sri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, in the glimpses of world history, quotes Hyunzang and says, this land of the moon, of the knowledgeable, gives rise to the word Hindu. So, probably he's defying his own ideologue's comment. Nevertheless, why was this referred to as the land of Sindhu or Hindu? Because based on the river Sindhu, because river is very important to us. Why is this land called the land of the Intu, moon? Because parts of Brahmadesham, which is Myanmar, Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh, Nepal, Uttarakhand, Ladakh, and Kashmir, they all form a part of the huge range called as Himalayas. Astyuttarasyam dishi devatatma Himalayo nama nagadhirajaha, says Kalidasa. So it is snow-clad. It resembles the moon, and the moon's rays, when it falls on it, there starts the geography. So the people from the Chinese civilization viewed this land as the land of the knowledgeable, because in Jyotisha Shastram, Rahul, the one who is responsible for knowledge, intellect, is Buddha. The one who is responsible for the stability of the mind is Chandra. So only when the moon is stable, the knowledge is stable, and people have a stable knowledge. This land was referred to as the people with stable knowledge, the land of the Intu. Then came the word Hindu. But sadly, I come from a beautiful state called Karnataka, Rahul, where Karnena Atati or Brahmati, though when you hear nice reverberations of victory by the kings who protect the civilization, it's called Karnataka, it seems, in Sanskritam. So we had Vijayanagaras, Hoysalas, Chalukyas, and so on, and today we have one senseless person coming from this state giving such an obnoxious color to the word Hinduism. So, of course, Rahul, how much ever this comment was harmful, was lethal in approach, he can be rest assured that his head won't be beheaded, because the civilization is that magnanimous that it can forgive that person, and it can pray that there prevails good sense in this person.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Ahmed. Look, you've had now a Vedic scholar giving you the history, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Tanveer Ahmed of the JDS. Would you today accuse the Congress and the ecosystem that continues to attack Hindu belief systems, denigrate them, etc., of xenophobia? Would you come out and say this in no uncertain terms?
With all due respect to the respected Swamiji, Mr. Dushyant Sridhar, who has really who increased our knowledge and information about Hindu and scriptures and what it speaks about. Fantastic. But we need to really come back to politics. We need to really know that Mr. GVL Narsimha Rao has two caged parrots. One is called as CBI, another is called as ED. So we need to really understand Belagavi is the second largest district in Karnataka. Why is Mr. Jarkioli making a statement? Jarkioli brothers are absolutely very, very vulnerable when it comes to these CBI and ED cases. And I'm sure, you know, Mr. GVL Narsimha Rao and his party would have really used those two parrots to really cage him and say that you need to make a statement like this. And I would not be surprised. A person who's 5-time MLA, minister, a person of large intelligence coming and making a statement cannot really be just another statement. It should be well crafted and drafted and given the scriptures given from Mr. GVL Narsimha Rao and his party. However, it is a very sad statement from my political point of view, from my party I would say. A person making a stupid statement like this definitely needs to be apologized, definitely needs to be sacked. But however, it is who is going to get benefited? Cui bono? Who would get benefited by a statement like this? All the Hindus' votes would be divided. They would come and centralize at one person and one party, which would be BJP. So I can really tell you with my political intellect and with my understanding, this is not just another statement which is made by Mr. Jarkioli. It is a scripture which is given by BJP to Mr. Jarkioli to make a statement like this.
Look
and
how bizarre.
Congress is absolutely caught
now
unaware.
Look at this. Look at
no,
this.
It is not bizarre.
No,
it is
Mr.
absolutely
Ahmed, this is as bizarre. 1 minute.
Logic.
1 minute. I'll just bring you in, Mr. Rao. You need to defend your party against this bizarre logic, and I will give you the opportunity. I just want to make an extension of this logic. Viewers, there are two caged Pakistani parrots in this country. Should I tell you? Two caged Pakistani parrots. One is Yasin Malik, the other one is Mirwaiz Umar Farooq. And they make plenty of statements that are not just anti-Hindu, they're anti-India. They presided over, of course, and one of them, in fact, even executed the Hindu genocide in the 90s in Kashmir. Mr. Pandit, who is part of this panel tonight, will tell you. Now, this is like saying that these two caged Pakistani parrots who abuse India, who have presided over the Hindu genocide in Kashmir, did so at the behest of the RSS. So that many years later, 20 years later, the BJP would come to power in a vast majority. This, viewers, is the intellectual, absolute intellectual diminution of the debate that we are witnessing today. I'm sorry, Mr. Ahmed, you have made a bit of a fool of yourself tonight.
Rahul,
this is not acceptable. How can we even try today to say
Rahul,
you understand politics?
Rahul,
are you telling me? No, are you telling me? Then let's have this out.
Rahul,
no, let's have this out. Let's 1 second. Let's have this out. No, 1 second. Let me take you back in time.
Let me
take you back in time.
30 seconds, Rahul.
No,
let me have
1
my 30 seconds,
Let me take you back in time. Let me take you back in time, sir. I'll take you back to a time not very far back, so you won't have a problem remembering it. I'll take you back to 2008, 26/11, sir. Right after that, the Congress came out with a theory that the 26/11 attacks was in their words, quote unquote, an RSS sajish. Now, viewers, politically, Mr. Ahmed would say, wow, this was also spun by the Congress to bring the BJP back into power. I mean, this is ridiculous. How much are we going to justify? Are we also going to say that Nehru opposed, fought with Mr. Patel, Sardar Patel, when he wanted Somnath to be rebuilt because he thought that I will benefit the RSS, bring them back into power? Viewers, this is absolutely ridiculous. Just think about what we are justifying, rationalizing in the name of politics today.
Yes,
no, 1 second,
certainly.
Mr. Ahmed, you all celebrated. Now let's have this out, okay? Let's go back into time again, and Mr. Sushil Pandit is there. You loved Hindus so much And Sushil Pandit, please respond to this. They loved Hindus so much, the Congress, the other opposition, so-called secular opposition, that today not one person has gone to prison for the butchery that we witnessed after independence in a free, democratic, secular India in Kashmir. They are so in favor of Hindu rights that when a movie was released recently, they said it was an RSS conspiracy to divide the nation, and that movie was called Kashmir Files. I wish we were speaking to Mr. Vivek Agnihotri. He can give you a list of what people said about him, his motives from the opposition that we today, and the ecosystem, forget the opposition, the ecosystem that we so celebrate as being woke. Mr. Pandit, go ahead.
Thank you, Rahul, for having me on your show, and good evening to all your panelists and the viewers. You know, this is a very old issue, and the people we are talking about have a congenital hatred for this entire community, even if their name suggests that they belong to this community, because it is 1,000 years of self-flagellation, guilt, a huge sense of criminality about being who they are. And it has been instilled, politically instilled, you know, ideologically instilled, because they have built a politics around it. Today, when they see people resenting it, people resisting it, people questioning it, they can't stomach it. A good Hindu, in their view, is the one who soaks in all the punches, doesn't complain, willingly offers his neck to be chopped, and is happy being ramrodded into a corner despite being a majority, despite being a native, despite belonging to a civilization and the cultural values that this land produced. But if he resists, if he questions, if he defends himself, if he questions those who berate him, subdue him, humiliate him, they call it Hindutva. Hinduism is good enough for them because it has been soaking punches and taking genocides in its stride for 1,000 years, losing more than 250 million people in the process.
Well,
it is all right because it could never resist raising towers of their skulls by the marauders like Tipu and Taimur.
Why aren't not interfering? This is provoking violence against a particular community.
If they question,
why are Rahul not
interfering? Look at this, gentlemen.
Totally
look at this, gentlemen. One second, Mr. Pandit. Now look at the way they're going to try and muzzle you by suggesting that you're provoking violence. No, you're calling out a fact. Now let me tell Mr. Chaudhary a few things. His party, the Congress, supports the DMK. You know what the DMK's great leader...
this is provoking violence.
Listen to me.
Mr. Sushil Pandit and his lives of the Hindutvah.
One second.
I am stating
Listen
facts.
to this statement, A. Raja's statement. One second. Listen to A. Raja. A. Raja on September 14th. You are a Shudra till you remain a Hindu. You are the son of a prostitute till you remain a Hindu. You are a Panchaman till you remain a Hindu, which is a Dalit. You are an untouchable till you remain a Hindu. Viewers, this is the same DMK that traces its ideology to Mr. Periyar. And what did Mr. Periyar do? Apart from taking many pot shots, he actually broke on the 27th of May 1953 statues. He smashed the statues of Lord Ganesha. Dr. Ambedkar also said, Islam is a closed corporation, and for those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. Basically, he's saying that Islam is a closed corporation. If you are outside the corporation, Muslims will view you with contempt and enmity. Will you also accept this? Dr. Ambedkar also described the hijab. Should I read out what he said about the hijab? Would you accept that Dr. Ambedkar was right on Islam, that it's a closed corporation?
No, I am quoting Ambedkar.
I'm also quoting Dr. Ambedkar.
No, no. If he has a very critical view of
I am
Islam or
also
Christianity or
quoting
Hindu,
Dr. Ambedkar. Which Ambedkar? No, which Ambedkar do you love?
Rahul, if he has a critical view of not only Hinduism or Islam or Christianity, for that matter, any religion, I'm open to that. Anything is subject to scholarship.
Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, when Dr. Ambedkar said that Islam is a close corporation, these are his words, I'm quoting him. And for those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity, unquote. Was he right or was he wrong?
I don't believe Dr. Ambedkar's words are a gospel truth.
Okay, stop there. Now stop there. 1 second. You don't believe they are gospel truth? Why does the Congress party support the DMK government that comes out and rationalizes through its own apologists like Mr. Karthikeyan the views of Dr. Ambedkar? If you are so tolerant, tell me, why are you together? Secondly, tell me, do you accept? No, 1 second.
Can I
do you
reply?
accept? I'm asking
Can
you,
I
Mr.
reply?
Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, I'm asking you.
Can I reply?
I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you the second part of my question. You didn't allow me.
Can I reply? Since you are doing whataboutery, you have brought in Islamophobia to project Hinduphobia.
I am not. Dr. Ambedkar has said these. You accuse Dr. Ambedkar of being Islamophobic. It's up to you.
Rahul,
here we have
you seem to be a spokesperson of the RSS
Ambedkar
in this
of being
discussion.
Islamophobic.
You can go in about whataboutery.
No. You being whataboutery tonight, sir. I am quoting
of course
Dr.
you are
Ambedkar.
Doing.
If you believe Dr. Ambedkar
what is the topic of your debate?
If you believe
why
that
are you
Dr.
bringing in
Ambedkar,
Islamophobia to counter Hinduphobia?
I'm asking you a question.
Who is propagating Islamophobia right now? Why have you brought in the discussion of anti-India, anti-Hindu? Who has brought in the debate of appeasement? Who has brought in the debate of Pakistani? Who has brought about the debate of Muslims and hijab? On this statement of tonight's discussion, sir, you don't have any answer. You are an agenda-based debater.
Okay, shut him down. I'm now going to bring in the views of Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar, the same Dr. Ambedkar that Mr. Karthikeyan says is okay. He can say these things. 1 minute. Mr. Karthikeyan. No, now don't go. No. You can't pick the quote by Dr. Ambedkar that suits your idea. No. Shut him down also. I'm sorry. None of you apologists who delight in using all sorts of intellectual feints to slam Hindus and their beliefs are going to get away tonight, viewers, by trying to suggest that I am being Islam. I am only quoting Dr. Ambedkar. You can't say I like one of Dr. Ambedkar's quotes, Mr. Chaudhary, and I don't like the others because that is Islamophobic. And don't pin it on me. If you were better researched and educated, you would be coming out and saying, I apologize to all Hindus, and not trying to justify why the Congress sits with today the DMK. The same DMK viewers, let me tell you how Congress has fallen. The same DMK viewers that released the killer of Rajiv Gandhi gave him, fair enough, the person was entitled to remission. But the chief minister of the state embraced him, the killer of Rajiv Gandhi, one of the Congress's tallest leaders, viewers. And we are talking about the Congress having a moral conscience? I'm absolutely shocked. Mr. Chaudhary, you can take all your phobias and you can sit, sir, in a corner and ruminate over them. I leave it at this, viewers.